Hello and welcome to something interesting and kind of different. Today we're going to take a look at an app that I just noticed. I saw it over on Engadget and then a couple other people mentioned it. Effectively, it's kind of like a VR world. There are lots of other apps out there that do something similar to this, but this one seems to be targeted at gaming and interaction and multimedia and things like that. And since I do regularly play Dungeons & Dragons with some friends, and they mentioned that specifically on their site, I thought it would be kind of interesting to take a look at it. This is called AltSpaceVR, and basically you pick the kind of character you want to be, what you want to look like and everything. I've got this scaled down because it's pretty resource intensive, so apologies in advance if there are drop frames or lags or stuttering, but let's just take a look at it. So you pick what you want your character to look like. This is just what I'm going to pick. You hit enter AltSpaceVR, and now I've got everything lined up again properly. Takes a little while to load, and I went ahead and muted myself in the game just so I don't accidentally talk to any other people. I haven't seen a whole lot of other people around, but here you go. Here's the welcome to AltSpaceVR. Here's how you move around. You can teleport, you can rotate your body, you can exit, mute your mic. Definitely make sure to mute your mic. Open the menu. If you right click and move around like this, you can see there's a little HUD, a little UI that stays up on the screen. This brings up your main menu. This I think would have to do with if you were wearing an Oculus, a VR headset of some sort. I don't have one of those, unfortunately. You move around with the keys on your keyboard, as you can hear. Click on this and it pulls out your little UI, but you can also use the right mouse button to pull that up. If you just tap it, it'll pull it up, and it just puts it in a static location that you can look around. Really, really cool stuff. But you can see there, I've got U, which will pull up just a little panel about me, and you can't really see it very well in this. There we go, it's a little better to look at. So if I hit U there, you can see there's me, there's my username, Jordan Keys. If I go to camera, it actually gives me a camera showing my avatar in the game, and it looks like it's actually pulsating as I talk. Hopefully I'm not talking to the people around me, but there's nobody here at the moment. But you can take a picture of yourself. You can actually come in here and look at the gallery. I took a quick photo earlier. There's me in a different place. We'll go there in a minute. Oh, I went outside. I teleported. That's the other thing. Like I said, if you left click, you'll teleport to whatever you click on. Very, very cool. But let's go back through this a little bit more. There's events where you can kind of see here, welcome to AltSpaceVR. There's a talk coming up. There's the Gamers Darkness Rising. I think that's a movie. More talks, Geek and Sundry stuff. So much going on in this place where nobody is yet. There's also the web, and when you click on web, you get 3 web browsers that open. These are supposed to be completely private, so sort of do what you would, but also keep in mind this is cloud-based, this is internet-based, so who really knows if it's truly private. But in here you can come into YouTube, and you could say, oh, let's go to Twill Plays. This is my daily vlogging channel, so let's just open it up and see.
Good morning, guys.
Oh, look.
Good morning.
There's one of my videos. And if I click on that, it actually comes in here, shows me an ad. And after a little bit of work there,
I think I'm actually going to be heading out here in just
I'll go ahead and mute myself. But you can see the YouTube video playing there in the screen, like in the middle of this. There's not a full screen option. Like if I click on that, it doesn't appear to work properly. But if you're in certain places, you can actually beam the content of your browser or the content of a picture or something to a screen. We'll get to that in a minute as well. But you've got 3 different browsers you can use. I'm gonna go ahead and stop this and just go back to my home. There's a main links section. You can watch Netflix, you can watch Twitch, sort of whatever you want to do on the web, you can do in here. Really cool. Moving on, we've got apps. I haven't spent a whole lot of time with these yet, but there's a whole bunch of different things you're supposed to be able to do. Flappy Dragon, line racers. When I tried line racers earlier, it didn't appear to want to work quite right. It loads up and it looks like there's a car that's going to be coming at me. So it's like I'm playing a game inside of what is effectively a game. Really, really cool stuff. This reminds me an awful lot of Second Life. If you've ever heard of that, it was kind of an alternate reality VR kind of thing without a VR headset. But here's line racers, and there's my car, and when I click on it to race, something happens. I don't know. If I move the car around though, it explodes. So I kind of gave up on that very quickly. But as I was saying, there are a bunch of these kind of apps that you can do. I haven't spent a lot of time with them, but Dungeons & Dragons is the one that most interests me. And again, we'll get to that in a second. There's a people tab where you can see all the people you're following and the people that are following you. Maybe after this video, a few of you guys will sign in and will follow me. This is not a paid sponsored thing or anything. This is just, I found something that I thought was super cool and I wanted to share it. And then the last place that I'll look at here are spaces. And these are other realms, other places you can go to, other sections you can look at. So there's like a Dungeons & Dragons Tavern. There's a VR cinema. So if you had a VR headset, you could watch a movie while floating in space, while in VR. Wow. this world that we're living in. This is just amazing. Personal space, there's a conference room. The welcome space is where we are right now. There's a clubhouse, a tea garden. There's just all these different places you can go to. So as an example, let's run over to the VR cinema real quick. And as you can see, all the time, this little HUD does stay down here for you. So you always have that little reminder that you're in there, that you're able to interact with other things. And there we are. We are in the VR space. So I would assume, yeah, sky seating. I've never been here, so I don't know what to expect. Let's see. Can I teleport out into space? No, I can't. Good. There are some things that you can actually hold shift around, by the way. There are some things you can interact with. You can walk through some things. Beam content. Wow, this is massive. This is amazing. And it would be even better if I were seeing this full screen. I've had to scale this down to 720 so that the frames don't drop quite so much. And so you guys are actually able to see what's going on. So apologies for the low quality video. I definitely need to upgrade my PC because this, capturing it and playing it, is just maxing me out. But anyway, let's, can I do anything to it here? No, this is slide. It's telling me how to beam content. But what I can do is go back to my web HUD. Let's go back to YouTube. Let's go to, I don't know, let's find one of the videos that I've made. So we'll go to my channel. We'll go to my list of videos, and we'll just take the Nexus 5X stabilized video. And here you see the beam button. And now that I've hit that, we are in space, in this auditorium in space, and there's my video playing in space. But I don't seem to have really any control over it after this point. There it is, there's me. Now I wonder if I can do anything else to it. Let me come back into the web. Oh, it's, when I beamed it, it took me back out. So there are still some sort of hiccups, some sort of weirdness to it. That's a really cool thing. I'm absolutely loving this. And I'm having a fun time doing it. I mean, this is, wow. I just can't stop saying wow. This is blowing me away. So let's go back to the spaces again. I don't want this video to run too long. Let's go to the Dungeons & Dragons Tavern. There's Jordan's D&D campaign. Wow. I don't remember setting that up. I guess we'll see what happens. And this is the tavern. This is where I took my little selfie earlier. And, you know, you can sort of walk around the tavern. There's a little fire burning in the fireplace there. You can look down and see your little body. Fire over here. There's your bar. You could kind of, I mean, if you had a bunch of people in here, you could potentially have people role-playing at the bar. Here, though, is your D&D table. So it has gone ahead and set everything up for me. If I wanted to play Dungeons & Dragons with my friends, I could set up my character sheet over here, make changes to it, give myself some more hit points. And actually, you'll see, it changes this one too. Maybe you can see that. This low resolution is kind of hard to see. But then as I move around the table, those screens follow me. This is really, really cool stuff. I gotta get out of my UI. And then you move over to the Dungeon Master's position. You know, you've still got your screens over there in case you want to reference something. But then, here's all of your characters. Let's go ahead and we'll, oh, we don't have anything to save. We don't have anything out there at the moment. Let's see if I can, yeah, I'll place a cube out there. Actually, before I place the cube, I'll probably have to take that back off. We'll go over here and click on tiles. So here's a tile we can place and another tile we can place. And we can just put these down as parts of the game board. Kind of hard to see what's going on, you know, out on the table from where I am. But I think since I'm technically sort of the DM, yeah, I can move around and still interact with everything. That's so cool. And there's another set of tiles. So we'll put this out here. Not something I would want to do a lot of because I'm not a DM type. But there you go. I've put a few things out. Let me click back on the, I can't click on the monsters from here. There we go, back on the monsters. So we're gonna put an ogre out here, and we'll put this little cube and a dragon. Whoop, I went outside the window borders and it, yeah, gets confused. So again, still something that's kind of new and in progress. But there you go, we're moving stuff around the board. So if you had your friends here, they could have their tokens brought in, and you could move them around the table to interact with your game. And you know what? I kind of like this layout, so I'm going to save it. I click on the save button, click on a save slot, save it. And there you go. It is saved. So now if someone comes along and screws things up, they start taking stuff away and throwing pieces away, and oh no, they messed up the whole board. And Wheaton, Will Wheaton's wife, comes along and does a table flip on the board. We hit the load button, we hit 1, we say go, takes just a second, and it loaded our board back. Super cool stuff. And you can even lock it in place if you don't want any of the tiles to get messed up. So now the tiles are not movable, but the players and the characters still are. So cool. And then there's your little trash can here where you can delete tiles and players and other stuff like that. This whole thing just blows my mind. You know, the level of technology that we're at now. And you know that it's not the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, but it's definitely pretty, especially for something that didn't cost me a penny. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be taking a look at this a lot moving forward. I'm going to be using this a lot, hopefully. If I ever get my hands on a true VR headset, I'm really looking forward to checking this out on VR headsets. So I will put a link down in the video description to where you can find AltSpaceVR. Go ahead and sign up, and if you do sign up and you want to check it out, find me on there. My username is Jordan Keys. I'll probably be in and about here and there, going to some of the VR screenings and maybe checking out D&D on here. So let me know what you think of it down in the comment section below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to leave a thumbs up below this video if you like this video, and subscribe to receive more videos when they become available. We'll see you again next time.